Good morning. Today is Thursday, August 22nd, and we're here at the parking area at the end of the Kennerdell Bridge at the Kennerdell Tract of the Clear Creek State Forest. And it's been a while since I've been down here. Today I want to go down, check out the bathrooms, the new bathrooms at Danner's campground. Because I heard they built new bathrooms down there, but somebody told me they were down there and they were all locked up. So what's the point? We're gonna go check that out, and then we'll go up Denison Run, take a look around up there, and trying out a new phone here. So this is kind of like a threefold recon mission. Okay, we're going this way. You've done this with me before, you know the drill. So let's get at it. All right, I'm not even 100 feet into this thing and I see changes already. There used to be like a metal building right there with like a shed roof. What its purpose was, I have no idea, but it's gone. And it looks like maybe we might have some freshly painted blazes too. See if that continues. I got passed by a DCNR truck a little while ago and something's going on up here. I hear a skid steer. Now I see a skid steer. Don't know what they're doing. Scooping gravel around. I don't know what they're doing up here. We'll take a look. Okay, I just talked to the DCNR guy on the skid steer, and the reason the bathrooms at Danner's are locked is because they're getting locked by accident. They're getting locked by people using them. I guess there's a privacy lock on it or something. I'm gonna look at this lock set when I get down there, but people are locking them and leaving them locked and then shut the door and they're remaining locked. I mean, if it's a true privacy lock, there should be a way to trip the lock with a paper clip or a nail or something, but how many people are carrying a paper clip or nail with them down here? So people are having to come down here and unlock them all the time. But he says they have a new lock set ordered that is the kind that should have been put on it in the first place, where if you're on the inside and it's locked and you turn the lever, it just unlocks itself and stays unlocked. So that explains it. So I'm almost to Denison Run, and we'll get down and we'll check out these new bathrooms and see if they're locked. Okay, we made it to Denison Run, and what the heck? No parking. Man, this is all new. Has it really been that long since I've been down here? So we have no parking signs here now. Here and over here where you go up the Denison Run Trail, which we're going to do later. Why you'd ever park here is beyond me, but because if you go right up there, there's a place up there to park like 10 cars if you park intelligently. Water's pretty low. Seems like it either rains like crazy or no rain at all. There's no happy medium. I was going to get water here, but I think I'll wait till I get up to Dennis or Danner's and get water out of the spring pipe, which I assume will be flowing. I'll still filter it, even though I've drank it unfiltered before, but yeah. Okay. I figured that DCNR truck would be parked here, but it's not. I think that dude had somebody with him. He must be on up here. Yeah, this gate's unlocked, so he must be up here doing something. Usually this gate's locked at all times, even in hunting season. We'll finally do a spot here with a view of the river, although it's pretty sunny. It might glare you out. I don't know. We'll see. I think I said at the beginning of this thing that I'm recording with a different phone than what I usually do. And it's one I inherited from my daughter because she got a new one. It's pretty bad when the parents inherit the stuff from the kids, you know. Isn't it supposed to work the other way? But I'm not complaining. So anyhow, it's an iPhone 13. My old one was an 11. Oh, I should say it's a 13 Pro too, which I think gives you better camera. And one thing I always had a problem with in the past was the iPhone 11 only had 64 gigs of memory. And when I record stuff like this, I was forever having to like keep it short. And I'm sure you've seen a few videos where I couldn't record an outro until I got home or until I got back to the car and put it on the charger for a while. Well, hopefully this alleviates that. It seems to have better battery life. Because the other one, the problem was I always run navigation on Gaia, even though I know where I'm going, just to keep track of distance and stuff like that, because I like to share that with other people. And if you recorded with the movie and ran Gaia at the same time, it would just zap the shit out of the battery. So I'm seeing if this one's any better. It seems to be, just from the time I used it at work. You know, like I always have my phone beside me at work and have it on. And a lot of times by the end of the day, I'd be down to like 35-40%. Well, I've done that with this phone, and at the end of the day I might only be at 75 or 80%. So it seems to have better battery life. I'm hoping that's the case, because you know, I try to record this stuff and it gets frustrating when you get to the end where you know, want to explain what you've done and so forth, and you have no battery. So yeah, my God, there's just bugs galore out there. I'm sure you can't see them, but this is like a swarm of gnats or something. Wow, I'm glad they're not back here. Okay, I've rambled enough, told you what I'm up to, so let's keep going. We're getting there. I always thought this was a pretty area right here. Obviously it's been timbered in the last 20 or 30 years, but you got all these red oak trees here, all nice and spaced out. I see like a ton of hammock camping potential spots up in there, even though I've never walked up there and really looked at it. But if I were to do it though, it would probably have to be, you know, late September, early October or something before hunting season, because you got the river and right over there and all those houses, and I can tell you, camping along the river down here in prime season, it's like the noise never stops. People out playing music till midnight, 1 in the morning. That's not my bag. Yeah, I'll wait till everybody goes home and then I'll come down here and maybe do it sometime. But I think to get water, I'd probably have to walk clear down to the spring at Danner's, which I think is only, I don't know, 3/8 of a mile from here. Not a biggie, but I don't know. I might do it someday. We have made it to the intersection of the pipeline trail, and that's interesting. Is that the same truck that passed me on the way in? I don't think it is. No, it's not. But anyhow, pipeline trail takes you up over the hill and ends up on Denison Run Road. I'm gonna nose at this truck for a minute and shut this off. I don't want to be too invasive. Yeah, that's a DCNR truck. I don't think that's the same one that passed me on the way in here though. Oh well, none of my business. I'm going this way. I've made it to Danner's, and yeah, here's the truck that passed me on the way in. And what this dude's doing. Sounds like a weed eater, but well, at any rate, before I get down there, I'm going to the spring to get some water. She ain't flowing too bad. I expected less than that, but I'm gonna get me some of that. All right, we made her to Danner's, and them DCNR guys are up there, so I won't do nothing up there till I think they're fixing to leave, but we'll get down and take a look at the river, and man, is it low. Wow. That's looking upstream. Water's a little slack right here, so you got that spit, as I call it, flowing in both directions. But that's downstream from where I came. Yeah, check this out. I brushed up against a blackberry bush on my way in here. All these drugs I'm on since I had my heart attack. I'm bleeding. All I can say is if I really got hurt, I'd probably bleed out in a hurry. My blood is just thinner than water. Okay, let's go up here and walk around a little bit. I'll show you Danner's campground. All right, now that the DCNR guys are gone, I don't know what the idea behind this is. It's just gonna make a muddy mess. I'm not gonna comment anymore, but It's just gonna make a muddy mess. Let's go look at the new bathrooms now that he's done over there. He's running a weed eater around it. New, modern. I guess they don't compost, you pump them out when they get full. I don't know how that works. Must be on Wi-Fi or something. Notifies them when it gets full. But yeah, he told me he just put this lock set on here so you can't get locked out anymore. They're pretty though, for now. He also told me that since they put that lock set on, if you open the door too far, it can hit the wall, so they're gonna have to put a stop on there. But for now, that wedge stops the door from hitting the wall, because I'm sure there are idiots who'll throw the door open even though that closer has some pressure behind it. But you know how people are. Some people might just throw the door into the wall for the sake of throwing the door into the wall. Saw another guy down here walking around. First I thought it was one of the DCNR dudes, but it's not. I don't know where he came from. Probably started up the hill somewhere. Okay, let's go back to Denison. On my way back, and geez, I didn't even notice on the way the other way, but all these wildflowers are coming out. I think this is called Coreopsis or Coreopsis or something like that. Closely related to what you know as black-eyed Susans, or I think the proper name for them is Rutabaga or something like that. I'm no botanist, but yeah, I guess it is that time of year, and all the milkweed should be coming out too, so you should start seeing monarch butterflies in abundance, because they love that stuff. All right, I'm back to where the pipeline trail goes up the hill. Onward we go. Everybody asks how you can hike the same thing over and over, but I'm seeing things I've never seen before, like this, which I'm assuming is a capped well. And I saw another well on back there that, well, I smelled it first, but I never saw it before either. So, you know, you never see the same things twice, regardless of how many times you visit an area, I guess. A mile later, we have made it back to Denison Run. And now we're going to go up Denison Run Trail a piece, which pretty much follows this waterway, crosses it 4 times. And this is where we go. Used to be you got on Denison Run Trail over there, and there was a little footbridge up there, but it got washed out several years ago, so they rerouted it this direction. And what the idea is behind all this, I have no idea. Don't know. Okay, let's go. Right there is where the bridge used to come across, as evidenced by this trail register. But geez, it's been so long you can't hardly tell anymore. Okay, I'm gonna look in this trail register and see who's been here lately. Yeah, we're not going that way. We have approached the four swinging bridge in one of my favorite campsites, but I found this. Okay, I kind of always considered this a little bit of a unnecessary bridge anyway, but I mean, instead of pushing dirt around on a skid steer, why don't you come up here and trim back some branches and take care of some of this stuff? You know, not being critical, but, well, yes, I am being critical. Anyhow, but this is right by one of my campsites, and boy, that's a lot of dandy firewood right there, if I ever get down here to use it. Okay, I'm going to take you back and we'll show you this campsite back here. Looks a little different in here for some reason. I don't know if a tree came down over there, or No. Well, anyhow. Hard to believe we had 9 hammocks and a tent in here one time for a group hang. That was a fun weekend. I need to do that again sometime. But man, I'll tell you, if somebody was camped in here when that tree came down. Ooh, baby. Okay, let's cross the bridge and go on up that trail. I don't recall that tree being snapped off last time I was down here either. But it's stuck. Right there. But that's not to say that what's hanging over couldn't bust off again. And I guess it would come down over the creek, not in that campsite, in all likelihood. Okay, here's one of my favorite campsites. Campsite 6, I call it. Although, when I started mapping these campsites, I, marked every place that I found a fire ring, no matter how old it was. But some of them ain't really campsites. But let's see. Trying to think where I think I hung my hammock. That tree and that tree. But I see some others that would work, even though they're a little scrawny. As usual, all the best trees are close to the fire ring and you don't want to burn your tarp or hammock up, so. And then there's another site on up here. Up this way. This is probably the better of the two sites that are right here. I've camped here quite a few times. All right, let's carry on. There's a couple more up there, but they're a little hard to get to. I might try it. Let's try it. Okay, after a bunch of rock hopping and getting my foot wet, this is what I called campsite 10. It's not easy to get to, but it's pretty nice. Well, wait a minute. There's that carving. This is the last site, but I had another place marked on back there that apparently I passed up. What the hell? I'm going to take a picture of this. I'll be right back. All right, I'm wrong. This is the one I have marked as 10, and there's another one supposedly on up here. Man, it's been so long since I've been here that one time we were camping down here and there was a guy fishing for brook trout. Wanted to know if there was any good pools, and I sent him up here, not knowing if there was anything in it or not, but he did catch some. 2, I think he said. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. This is what I have marked as the last campsite, or at least the last one I know of. Really remote. Pretty unlikely anybody's going to find you back here. But there's a spot back here to get down to the water, to get your water. Right back here a little ways. You can tell this one don't get much action. Hell of a tent site though. Look how flat that is. I'll take a picture of this before I get preoccupied and forget. I mean, I did all this to take the picture, so I better do it. Wish I could have filmed that, but I'd have surely broken my neck. Okay, I'm back to more familiar territory. I'm back to the place where we usually camp. And I got to get some water. I'm out of water and I'm thirsty. Where shall I do it? I think I'll wait till I get to that little tributary down there. Yeah, here we go. All right, now to look for some water. Got my water. Now it's about 2.5 back to the car. I am almost back out to the river trail, and now's my time to bitch. Okay, I don't know what the idea was behind the dude with the skid steer scraping the road and or river trail, but here's something I think that could use a lot more priority. How hard would it be to come up here with some lopers or that weed eater and trimming some of this shit back? I mean, this is ridiculous. And it's only 50 yards from where he was working. I'm tempted to come down here myself sometime. I mean, I'm all about being hands off with this place, but this is ridiculous. It was never like this when the trail was on the other side of the creek. Yeah. Skid steer. Overgrowth. See where I'm coming from? All right, I got probably 0.7 back of the Jeep. Holy shit. You probably can't see it, but right there in the middle, there's an otter down there. But I had a better shot of him a little bit ago, but I'm unfamiliar with this phone, so I screwed it up. I've never seen an otter in the Allegheny, only in the Clarion. Be nice if he'd come out. Can you see him moving? Come on, dude, come out where I can see you. That is too cool. Four and a half hours and 7.5 miles later, we emerged from the green tunnel. Yeah. I thought maybe I could show you on this map exactly what I did, but I don't know if I'm that intelligent or not. Let's see. We would have gone, we started here. We went up to Danners, up and up and up and up and up to Danners. Where's my finger? To Danners. Then we came back to Denison Run, right here. We went up Denison Run, past the goat trail, and we probably stopped, I don't know, up in here somewhere. Then came back to Denison Run. Where's Denison Run? Back here, and then back up the river trail to where we're parked. Yeah, that was cool. Little farther than I usually go, but hey. Okay, before we leave, we'll risk our lives and walk out in the bridge and take a look at the river. Much like still photography, they always put utility lines in the most inopportune places, but There's looking upstream. And I'll go over here and give you the downstream view, providing I don't get hit by a car. The downstream view with no utility wires. There she is, the mighty Galligani. Okay, well, that's a wrap. And what I'm gonna do next, I don't know, but hey, that's pretty impressive for this phone. Like 4.5 hours of video with navigation on at the same time. My old phone would have never done that. Okay, I'm gonna blow this joint. I wish I'd have brought my wallet. I'd stop at Sheetz and get a beer, but as it is, I'm gonna have to go home and drink Diet Pepsi. Okay, until the next time, this is the old man checking out. Well, not checking out, I hope, but I'll be back. We'll do this again sometime. See you later.